Mayor Pete Buttigieg, the former mayor of South Bend, Indiana, who is now a transportation expert. He is, and of course, obviously serving in the Biden administration as transportation department head. I didn't realize that he was known for subways and futuristic transportation ideas. And this is why he is the Secretary of Transportation, because he's an expert on transportation, of course. I mean, he drove a car. So you know what else Mayor Pete is an expert on? That's science. And as Mayor Pete and the Democrat Party have told us repeatedly, we must follow the science. So this is what Mayor Pete had to say about the requirement to continue to wear face diapers, aka masks, on planes. Watch.
Of course, the decisions will continue to be on the part of public health authorities and driven by public health considerations. But just remember that the flight crews and other workers you encounter, they're doing their job. They're following regulations, and they're there to keep you safe. It is absolutely unacceptable to ever mistreat a transportation worker. And of course, there is very serious fines and enforcement around that. It's a matter of safety, but it's also a matter of respect.
I'm really confused because I thought that wearing a mask was about following the science. So I think we have something that talks about the science of mask wearing. Oh, yes, yeah, here we have. It's that private email, remember, from Dr. Fauci that was made public yesterday. Here's what it says, and I quote, "Masks are really for infected people to prevent them from spreading infection to people who are not infected, rather than protecting uninfected people from acquiring infection. The typical mask you buy in the drugstore, which is what everybody bought, is not really effective in keeping out virus, which is small enough to pass through the material." He says it might, however, provide some slight benefit in keeping out gross droplets if someone coughs or sneezes on you, end quote. Now, Fauci added, and I'm so quoting this, "I do not recommend that you wear a mask, particularly talking to this Sylvia woman, since you are going to a very low risk location," end quote. So according to Dr. Fauci, a guy who is dedicated solely to following the science and not at all playing politics or covering from any kind of communist Chinese party or cozying up to millionaires, sending emails to Morgan Fairchild, by the way, and running around playing celebrity doctor, yes, that Dr. Fauci, according to him, there's no real reason to wear ineffective drugstore masks, especially when you're not symptomatic. And when you, not to mention, by the way, when you're vaccinated or already had the virus, I mean, just following the science here, then you don't need to wear it at all. In any case, we all knew, and the former mayor just affirmed that the masks are all for show at this point. It's all theater. The double masking, the wearing masks on Zoom calls like the president did, Kamala Harris kissing her husband literally through a mask. It's all theater. Or, as the former mayor said, it's about showing respect for people like the flight crews and workers. Did it ever occur to the transportation secretary and Democrats in general that people who don't want to wear masks would like a little respect too, just a little bit? In other words, does he ever think that maybe perhaps his party's irrational fears of this virus, even after someone's been vaccinated, even with HEPA filtration on planes, maybe should necessarily give them the right to impose mask wearing on the rest of us for eternity? I mean, should we all be required to live inside of their pathological and non-scientific fear-mongering about the virus forever? I don't think so. I mean, do you? If they want to continue to live in fear, they can knock themselves out. We just want to get back to living and also breathing.